Shalom, shalom, all praises to the horizon, peace and wisdom, wise solace here. Today I want to do this deep video. Subscribe to the channel, thumb me, and visit the website wiseservant.org or upscaleknowledge.org. Check out the magazines and the services I provide. Peace and wisdom, Joshua Hall. Big Star. Now I want to discuss the Bardo. This is your Buddhist teachings. I'll explain exactly what it is. Now I want to do this video because many are dying. As I said, many people are dying. I apologize. As I said, many people are dying. But many do not know what happens, during the moments of death, if there are any moments, So I want to explain using the Bardo. This is an ancient text. If I tell you guys, when you die, this and that's going to happen, so what does that matter? And so I'm going to use the Bardo as a reference. Of course, I'm a wise scholar. And so I know most teachings, whether Far East, Western, Middle East, whatever, all the same for the most part. It all depends on how the mind is. Now, wisdom is a pressure. This is for all of you guys seeking knowledge or seeking to become wise. Wisdom is a pressure. It can snap the mind. Peace and wisdom, Christy V. So this is what most people do not know. We view wisdom as something that we're supposed to acquire. Wisdom is something that you are, meaning wisdom is just truth and an awareness of that truth, whatever it may be in the moment. Wisdom's not a fixed thing, like has to be this thing or that thing, but it's just the truth in the matter. Wisdom is something that you guys do not need to seek. You get my point? Wise is something you'll evolve into. When that happens, it's dependent on the self and the self being aware of the self. But I suppose wisdom will happen. For most, after death, I suppose. When they're close there. The point I'm making is, in the daytimes, wisdom's popular, so everybody kind of seeks to rush their being wise, not understanding that wisdom is something you kind of will evolve into, but you have to be on a certain path, just like you will evolve into a grown-up or an adult. But this all depends on when you Abandon your childish ways, you get it? When you want a certain kind of frequency. This is when your adulthood or your maturity will start to show. Now, wisdom is a pressure. That pressure will snap the mind if a person doesn't understand, what wisdom truly is. Like I said, wisdom is a pressure, like a force. You have knowledge. Knowledge is information. Wisdom has nothing to do with knowledge. Oh, it does, but don't mix up the two. Now, knowledge has a weight, if that makes sense. You guys bring in a bunch of knowledge. If you can view this knowledge as physical substance coming into the mind, so you get my point? Over time, you guys accumulate an abundance of wisdom. You don't view wisdom as a physical thing in perspective, and so in that, you don't view it as a stacking on. To say, oh, I got too much weight. You get my point? We're not viewing the mind in that way. Y'all was just bring in and stack on and stack on. You get my point? And so I'm trying to get you to grasp in that way. Knowledge has a weight. That weight is what will kind of break the mind, snap the mind. So view knowledge as a path. Of course, knowledge has a weight on the mind. And so view knowledge as a path. This path will lead to a fork in the road. One side will be insanity, the other side will be wisdom. Like that. You guys are on a path of knowledge. It will lead to you either being insane or wise. Now, most end up in the insanity pile. And it's a matter of the ego, meaning most people want things to be how they want it to be. While they're pulling in knowledge, trying to evolve themselves into being wise. But in the ego not being adjusted, or you guys being aware that y'all just want things to be how y'all want it to be, in some aspects, you get my point? That little part of the ego will interfere with one becoming wise. This is where insanity starts to kick in. You get my point? Meaning a lot of people, you have Aleister Crowley, many different people who went down a path of knowledge, but then they became insane, meaning lost sense of reality. Aleister Crowley's dying words were basically, I'm confused. Now, while he was alive, he knew everything. I think it was the same with the Satanist dude, too. When wise people die, they all say the same thing. Oh my, I'm perplexed. What the fuck are you perplexed about? You know everything. It'd be like that. They'd be confused. Like, oh, it's not what I don't. I'm confused now. So you get it? Wisdom's a delicate matter. It can break the mind. It will break the mind, but this is all a matter of when. You get my point? If the mind, if what I'm saying is understood accurately, then you guys will find a balance of flushing and not just overloading the mind till it snaps. Like I said, most are not even aware of what I just said, so half of y'all are probably there already. Insane is not what, you get it? I don't want y'all to think, oh, I'm good. When you become insane, you're not aware of that. You get my point? If the person was aware they were insane, they wouldn't be. You get my point? Insanity is when you don't have a control. And so you wouldn't technically be aware. It's like if you're under the influence. Well, you can't say what you would do because you're under the influence. You're not fully aware. If you were, you wouldn't be under the influence. So you get it? You have to be delicate with the mind, meaning you have to be delicate with y'all awareness because it can become, y'all can become insane. You get my point? Some of y'all watching, you like, yeah, I think that's what's happening to many people in the daytimes. Getting an overload of knowledge is snapping their minds, they become a little thrown off. One of you guys commented, so the sky is CGI. If you think you live in a video game, you have become too lost in the times. I know we advance in our technological ways, but this is what, you get my point? This is what's meant when I say y'all get influenced beyond reality. Just because the times go technical does not mean y'all have to make everything a technical matter. You get my point? Y'all make technology. Y'all are not technology. You get it? Y'all are organic. What y'all live in is organic. Everything is organic. We not a video game. Y'all are too old for this. It's disturbing. The pride gotta be removed because you have people that have, large following. They're grown. They talking this way. Then it has to be justified. Like, no, but he doesn't understand. I do. Y'all are child mind like. The maturity isn't kicking in. If you really even think for a second, yeah, we live in under a glass dome, a CGI sky. You sick. You was born out your mama's belly, not out of a VCR or a video game. The world you live in is an organic thing, a biological thing. You came into existence in that way. You get it? Your daddy stuck his dick, sorry I have to say it this way, but your dad stuck his dick in your mother. A plug was not stuck into a socket and then technology popped on and then you were a part of this technology. Where you're like, I'm Super Mario Brothers and life's a video game. Get real. You get my point? And so it doesn't matter where the time goes, you have to keep the mind together. These younger kids from today times, the new millennials, they don't know nothing but technology. So they're gonna see everything in that way because what else do they have? For God's sakes, their elders are lost in following them. So you get my point? That's the truth of the matter. If you a young millennial, I know you feel that way a little bit. You see your elders trying to impress y'all, all in y'all way. Sit your old ass down and get the old circle going. I'm going to old circle. I know my place. Y'all got y'all own shit going. Y'all don't see me up here trying to rap and get in y'all way. Y'all got y'all own shit. My time with the kids shit passed. I got grown shit I like to do. It's wisdom, but you get my point. It's too much mixing and merging. In that, a new millennial gonna see every aspect of life as a technology thing, even himself at some point. Of course, they gonna think, well, yeah, the sky might be CGI because they don't know nothing outside of CGI, and you get it. They don't come from our times with things were manual. You get my point? For God's sakes, if you was born in the time where you have a iPhone, I don't think y'all grasp how deep into the future y'all are. Meaning, if you a young kid from today, you do not understand how deep into the future you are in terms of life, and even in terms of 20, 30 years ago. When I was 9 years old, which is 30 years ago, nothing y'all talk. We still had black and whites. Yeah, you had colors, but black and white was normally what you was gonna see in somebody's crib. Y'all way deep into the future. This is why y'all see things how y'all do. Say, man, the sky is CGI. We live in a glass dome. I get y'all. You have people my age falling into that. How could you possibly think that? What did you think it was before we had technology? If the sky is CGI, then that means we've been had top level technology. Why would they wait all this time to like give pieces and parts of it to y'all? They could have been did that. That part. You don't think people would have found out of all this time that the sky is CGI? How do you guys fly in a CGI sky? Was that ever considered? Because CGI ain't technically real, so you wouldn't be able to do nothing in it. That's like if I told you I got a CGI house. So you'd be like, well, who cares? You can't live in it. It's CGI, retard. Apply that same method to what was said. The sky is CGI. Okay, when you're in an airplane, how did that work? Is the airplane CGI and you are too? Like that. Just a thought. It goes deep. I can go on, but at some point you guys have to grasp y'all just in a time where people just make up theories, which is guesses, not based on anything. You don't even have enough wisdom to base it on anything. But this is what's happening. Y'all like whatever y'all like. And so you get my point. This is what I mean by knowledge is a path. It will lead you to either being insane or wise. Most are gonna, end up in insanity because the knowledge, which is a weight, is gonna snap your mind. And so it's a deep thing. Hopefully you guys grasp. Peace and wisdom, Thomas, man. Omega Psychotic said truth. I lost touch with reality for years, seeking knowledge, going down the rabbit hole of YouTube and psychedelics. Yeah, YouTube gonna have y'all on DMT, psychedelics. It's gonna have y'all doing dumb shit. Some of y'all have been there already, where you like, damn, I did see a YouTube video and that shit had me trying stupid dumb shit and it ain't really worked. Nothing happened. I afflicted myself. Y'all watching all kind of insane. Y'all don't understand. Even people in jail can get a phone. Now that's not an insult to somebody in jail. But what I'm saying is if a man in jail could get a phone, a motherfucking crazy person in a hospital could get one even faster. You got people that's crazy that ain't even in the hospital. Meaning y'all never truly know who y'all listening and learning to in today's times, being as though anybody can get on the phone and upload a video. There's no screening process. You done seen people get shot in their head online. Y'all have. So y'all know there's no screening process of if you if you sane enough to be talking to people. The point I'm making is y'all have to consider some of the people y'all learning from are completely insane. Otherwise, what are we talking about? You get it? Meaning if YouTube has no restrictions of who can upload, then if you just of sound mind, you have to admit, well, then somebody that I like and watch has to be insane out of the bunch. Let's say you watch 10 people online, they're your favorites. 3 of them at least have to be completely crazy. Just 3. It could be 7 that's crazy and 3 ain't. But you get my point? At least 3 got to be crazy, being as though anybody could upload on YouTube. And so you got to consider these things when you get my point? Wisdom is a delicate matter. Like I said, you don't want to hold the mind around. You got to look at the mind as your sacred jewel. That's all you. That's you. It's better you let your body get pummeled, not your mind. You get it? It's better your body become disabled where you can't even move it than your mind become disabled. You get it? Your mind disabled is when you in unconscious sleep. The body don't work when you there. If the body don't work and you disabled, the mind still do. Meaning you still got existence. Is nothing more important than your mind, your awareness. And so be aware of these things when you're kind of parading the mind around, meaning whatever y'all bringing in, it's like intercourse. Me talking to y'all right now is intercourse and perspective. If you grasping what I'm saying, so I suppose this good intercourse. If you lost in your emotional state, then you get my point. You're not going to get nothing out of anything. start here. Some of y'all have anger issues. Meaning you have built up anger and hate. You think it's the people that you choose to direct it at. So if you come in here and you feel disturbed, you have a problem. You get my point? And until you learn that, you don't need to indulge in wisdom. Me saying that's going to disturb you. Everything is going to disturb you that you don't want to hear or refuse to accept. You're angry. This is an ego thing. You have to adjust that. It's just a real thing. Some of y'all cannot see past these things. You get my point? And so I'll say again, you may feel in your mind, no, 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 it's you that make me angry. I have nothing to do with you. I don't have nothing to do with your life. If you feel like I'm successful and you ain't, if I lose my success, you're not going to be successful magically because we don't have anything to do with each other. My success ain't going to trickle down to you, meaning you don't have to hate me because I don't have nothing to do with you. Nothing I'm doing is interfering with you. The problem is you're just angry inside. You get my point? And when you like that, it's a deep thing. You're not going to be able to get no wisdom. When you get to a place where the mind becomes mature, because anger's a childish thing. That's just the truth of the matter. Children get angry. They can't get their way. Anger's pretty much a matter of that. Not getting your way. Like, I don't care what you're angry about. It's going to boil you down to that in one way or another. So this is a childish, immature thing. If you say, I beg to differ, it's because you don't take full responsibility. You get my point? I don't give responsibility to nobody to say, no, you make me angry. You can't make me angry. I can get away from you. I'm grown. Whatever I go through is because I'm on full time for whatever reason. If the mind can't get there, I'm gonna disturb you. I'm not gonna lie to you because I'm grown. I don't know how to have a kid's perspective. I done been through too much things. You get it? Too much evolving to pretend. You get my point? And pat y'all asses on certain things. Some of y'all just angry. You get it? You gotta adjust that. Ain't nobody in life making you angry, or it's nothing that you hate. You just got hate inside. Once you deal with that, meaning once you become mature, that should go away. These is all signs of mental maturity, growth of self. Do you feel like other people, you get it? If other people's in control of your feelings, then grown-ups are in control of little kids physically. Their emotions is included, but I'm just giving you the perspective. Physically, adults is in control of kids. If somebody in control of you in any way and you're an adult, just chalk it up to the kid part of self. That's any part of self. Forget physical, just any part. You grown. Shouldn't nobody have no control over no part of you. Period. How? You grown. And so, it's a deep thing. He said it's a damn shame you have to explain this to grown people. Life is a deep thing. I'm not judging nobody, like I said. Growth, maturity is maturity. Until you take responsibility, you're not going to have no life. A lot of people don't realize these things. I don't know how to explain it where you get it. Until y'all take full responsibility, y'all got too much blame shit going on. That's dirt. That's baggage and burden. You don't need that. That's excuse for you not going all the way like you supposed to. You get it? That's what that is. You're not moving and doing like you need to be doing, and you trying to create justifications. Like, well, I don't like. None of that's gonna help you. But you know, people got to get to that place where they get that on their own merit, and then they could, adjust the mind, mature. It's y'all environment. Y'all around a lot of kid things. If you was around somebody that got a mind like me and 5 other people who similar, you get my point? Half the things y'all do, y'all wouldn't, because it wouldn't be smiled upon in the environment. We all adjust to the environment. If the environment is stupid and silly, I don't care who you are, you're adjusting somewhat. You can play dumb with yourself like you're a superhero. No, I'm not. That's the immaturity of self. You adjusting somewhat. And so you have to stay aware of these things and how much you taking on, you know. Thank you, Omega Psychotic, for the gift back. I appreciate that. Boon boy, you're absolutely correct. We all in different stages of our growth, journeys through life. But the point I'm making is if you angry and you got hate, you're gonna have struggles in this life now and all the way until you fix that. Just look at it like a day. You're gonna have struggles through your day. You're gonna fall asleep. Being as though you're in an angry state, you might have a dream all nightmare. Meaning the mind might carry over. You go into your abyss, wake up. You get my point? Just because you clock out don't mean your goddamn mental problems are. All you got is the self at the end of the day. A lot of y'all gotta learn that. You're too independent on other things. You're gonna die by yourself. You was born by yourself. You're gonna go through your emotional and mental problems by yourself. Can't nobody come in your mind and share your burdens. Can't nobody come in your heart and share your burdens of your emotional problems. You got to take these things on y'all own. Y'all don't want to. So then y'all go out to seek other people to take the mind off of self. But you got to put a time apart for the self to deal with these things. You get my point? Or these things going to deal with y'all? Meaning y'all going to deal with y'all emotional states, or y'all emotional states going to deal with y'all. Then you be locked down in jail for 25 to life because you don't have no control over your emotions. You get my point? Or you might be in a pine box because you don't have no control over your emotions, so you just... It's a deep thing. Hopefully y'all grasping y'all in them times where, y'all gonna die. Thank you, Christy V. If anyone wants the sweater, why serving that on, different colors, whatever kind you like. I like the pink one. I'm not gonna even cap. I got one. It's sexy. Sexy. I don't care what nobody got to say. Not sexy. I'm sassy. Like, you gotta say it like that. Like, I'm not sassy. Like, you're just jealous. You gotta put that at the end too. I always throw that at the end. I'd be like, I'm not sassy. You're just jealous because I'm sassy. Like, you goofy. Like, I'm sorry. Let me get back to the deep knowledge. Y'all know me. I like to slip into silly. I like to slip into healing. Laughing. Anger. Start there. Y'all get angry. And those are moments of anger. Your personality changes. Of course, the anger passes. It's not something that stays fixed for you get my point? Come and go or whatever the case may be, but the anger's not fixed. So y'all get angry, your personality change. Now, I don't want y'all to get lost on the anger, but just grasp that reference. When you get angry, your personality does change, and you know that. Now, when you guys go through trauma, which is a little more severe than a matter of anger, so it's the same. The trauma, just like the anger, but the trauma being more fixed, meaning y'all trauma stay with y'all for a long time. They may reemerge y'all anger, but the trauma stay with y'all. Just like the anger, the trauma will alter your personality. Or your traumas will evolve into your personality. And so many of you guys are one way. You went through different traumas in life, and you're different in the way you are, meaning your personality is different. But it's a matter of the traumatic experiences that you've had. Now, when we die, so you have all these external personalities you have brought in because of traumas. Meaning, you are how you are. You experience a trauma. The trauma becomes bound to you. Focus. The trauma is separate from you. but it becomes bonded. That trauma evolves into a personality. Because you, when the trauma is bonded, you take on the personality that the trauma is evolving to. Personality coincides with person. And so now this trauma evolves into a personality. But y'all are one. When you die, all separates. You get it? And so now this trauma has evolved into person or personality. One and the same. You get it? Now let's say you got 50 traumatic experiences you went through. These is 50 different personalities or entities bound to the self, meaning they stir and steer the way you perceive things, how you are. You get my point? Y'all go through certain traumatic experiences and then y'all don't just live loosely and freely in life as y'all did as children. It interferes with the personality like that. Now when y'all die, all become separate. Whoever you are before the traumatic experiences becomes separate from these experiences. These experiences has now evolved into personalities. So they're persons. This is what you will see. This is what will attack y'all. You get it? Y'all traumas, y'all guilts that, y'all have held for so long, they have become person. Meaning, as of now, you're just an individual in life. You have your personalities and how you are. These personalities and the way you are, they results of trauma. Because you in physical life, you don't see it separately. It's all just you. You get my point? When you die, so you will see self in its pure state, meaning traumaless, experienceless, the self in the pure state as just awareness. The magnificence of self. No burdens, no built up angers, none of that foolishness. And then you get to see what all these experiences and burdens and angers and hates that y'all have harbored inside, what they truly are. Meaning if you could see self right now, this traumatic experience you went through, it's a person all in the back of you get it? All jumped up on the back of your back, making you go this way or do this thing, or you get it? Bringing you out of your character. And so, when you're dealing with the Far East teachings, you have the Bardo and the teachings that go with it. That's what that's explaining. When you're dealing with the Bardo, you have three. If you lost the Bardo in Buddhism, this is liberation through sound or hearing. Meaning when you die, the last sense to leave is sound. But all the senses is just one sense. So that ain't all the way true. Meaning you're seeing, smelling, hearing, feeling, it's all the same. Your hearing is just a sense of sight. Meaning you have sight, sound, smell, taste, touch. View all these things as expressions of one thing. You get my point? Sight is the same. Hearing is just seeing in sound. If you close your eyes or you don't see me or someone you know and they say, yo, blah, 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 you know who calling you. Your mama upstairs, you downstairs, she call your name. You have an image of who's calling you. You get it? It goes hand in hand. I apologize. Let me cut this off. Like I said, it goes hand in hand. Sound, sight, taste being the same. If I close your eyes and I put some steak in your mouth, you familiar with the taste of steak, so you know. Taste is just another way of seeing. Hearing is just another way of seeing. Seeing is just another way of seeing. Meaning all of this is being brought back into the mind space. All of these things is just expressions of perception. You get it? Sound, our hearing is an expression of perception. The most important part of perception, guys, is seeing. But hearing, seeing, all the senses are just one thing and different expressions of it. So when you're dealing with the Bardo in the Buddhist teachings, so this is liberation through hearing or sound, meaning they believe when the dead die, there's 7 trials over 7 weeks, 49-day thing. But during this time period, the dead can hear. They haven't lost their sense of awareness and perspective of hearing. You get my point? And so every word uttered, they can hear still. And so when you're dealing with the Far East teachings, they would have different sayings that will be said over a period of 49 days for the dead, meaning they truly don't mourn for the dead until after the 49 days, because that's truly when the dead is gone. Prior to that, the dead is kind of going through its transitions. I'll look at it as going through its unveiling. Like I said, y'all pack on a lot. Y'all got a lot of mental problems, a lot of traumatic experiences, a lot of this and that that's packed on. These things got to get pulled off the self, but they are part of the self, meaning y'all love y'all burdens. So it's kind of explaining that. And so like I said, during these 49 days are these 7 weeks and 7 trials. So the dead soul is going through the Bardo, meaning the moment between times. You alive. You have life, you have afterlife. Correlate that to you being awake and then you having dream. The moment between dream and your being awake. That's a Bardo. You going from dream to unconscious. The moment in between when that happened, it's the Bardo. You can view the unconscious as the great Bardo, but I'm giving you an example. You have these Bardos, are these spaces between time, so to say, are times, experiences, however you want to view it. And so these Bardos are like moments of reflection, you know, a moment of stillness for one to see what has truly transpired, you know. And so you have the moment of death, Bardo. This is between life and afterlife, you can say. Meaning, when y'all die, there's a moment between physical life, and if you can view afterlife like dream, the moment in between those two. You get it? I don't want you to think like, oh, dream. No. Dream, but what's between it? You get it? Like a blank. I was just looking at you, then I blinked. That quick little blank will be a Bardo. What's not noticed in between the two times. See how fast y'all blinking? Y'all don't even realize when y'all blinking. It's a quick little thing that happens in between your scene. View that like that's a Bardo. What separates a time from a time. If you use it in, physical life, so when you awaken, you fall into dream, it would be a Bardo there. Now, if you use it in life and afterlife being like dream, there's a Bardo there. That would be the Chikai Bardo. Then you have the Chanyid Bardo. This is the moment of reality where you get the many different Buddha forms. And so you may see Kali coming at you, tongue hanging out. You get it? You may see many crazy looking demons as well as angelic beings messing with you. This is what's happening after death. So after the moment of death, Bardo, then you have the Bardo that I'm on now. The Bardo where you have the many different Buddha forms kind of coming at you. They will be monstrous or not. You get my point? angelic-like, or monstrous-like, all dependent. Now, what that is right there is explaining like what I explained in the beginning when I said you guys have a lot of traumatic experiences, guilts, angers, hates, all these things built up. These things evolve into personality. Yours for the time being, meaning these things interfere with the personalities that y'all are and influence y'all to be, different in y'all natures. You get my point? If you've been shot, that traumatic experience changed your personality or evolved into personality that you kind of is on you now. Meaning it all depends how you look at it, but it's still both the same. And so now, if you can gather all the traumatic experiences you've been through, never having truly dealt with them, like that, y'all have many different personality blocks or many different personalities that are a result of these experiences. Meaning y'all are not just how y'all would be if you remove all y'all experiences. If I take away all y'all traumatic experiences and y'all never had went through it, y'all will be complete different people. Everybody's how they are because everybody have different experiences. And so in that, it makes everybody's personality slightly different. We go through the same thing, so in that, we kind of slightly the same, but you get it? Like that. Now, the many different Buddha forms, the monsters, the angel-looking ones, is a matter of that. Y'all don't know what y'all traumatic experiences look like as person. You get it? Let's say you went through something horrible, and so now it alters your personality. You a Scrooge McDuck. You always angry, cursing people out. You just hard. You hardened. That ain't you. That's that traumatic experience evolved into personality. You can't see this person because it's working through you. You don't look at the self like you get it. When you die, that traumatic experience, which made you a certain kind of personality, will be separate from self. You can see just how ugly the trauma is as person. And so if the tongue hanging out and blood spurting out the eyes and it's looking to kill you and you like, oh my God, I'm scared to fucking death. This monster's chasing me in the afterlife. It's that. That's how ugly your trauma was. And you let it evolve into being where you can see it like, damn, what I went through, if it was a person, it would be the ugliest fucking person. Get it? Like that. If y'all can just imagine y'all traumas and the things y'all go through looking like people. However ugly the trauma, this is how ugly the entity. Then y'all can get a perspective. When people say, oh, I went to hell and this happened and that happened. It's y'all mind. Y'all haven't dealt with the self. You have to deal with the emotional state of self. Many different aspects of self that y'all don't. Y'all get lost into the life. Let yourselves get bitted and angry out, not realizing that's not you. That's an experience that has now become you. And if you don't get hold of it, it will attack you. Now, but worse when you pass on and all kind of begins to unwind or unravel. You gotta remember, you are a multi-cell organism. You're a multi-thing. But all these things ain't the self. They just a part of the self or with the self, catching a ride. So you gotta kind of look at self like that. Meaning the same way you can get lost in this world and let a whole bunch of people start to influence you where you lose yourself and you feel like, I don't know who I am no more. You could lose yourself like that to your own self. You get my point? Let all your traumatic experiences and angers and hates overwhelm you to where you don't become aware no more that, okay, I'm not an angry person. I'm just scarred. I have to deal with this some kind of way. I ain't saying it's gonna be a snap of a finger, but as long as you aware, like, all right, it's the experience that's kind of interfering with how I want to be, how I truly am. Some of y'all have become one with the experience. It's not even a negative thing. You wouldn't care. It's like the young boys out there shooting and killing each other. They traumatic childhoods, different experiences is what, alter their personalities, changing them from innocent kids to niggas that'll blow your fucking head off. But they have become so bound into these personalities. You get my point? That, you get it? The personality has taken over. Well, fuck you, nigga. I don't even care what you talking about. Meaning, if you tell a man you a good person, you just went through shit that's fucking you up. They gonna tell you, fuck you, nigga. I'm a killer. You better get the fuck out of my face. I don't care nothing you talking about. I don't want to be good. If you showed me I was a good person, I'd kill that motherfucker. I don't want to never see me good. Meaning it took over them. Y'all know people like that where you like, nah, dude is savage. You be like, you can't talk to him like that. But he was a good person at one point in his life. Maybe as a kid, maybe long, long, long ago. But something happened, threw him off. You get it? Him not dealing with it, it evolved into a personality. Some people get completely lost in it. Some of y'all get mad, and then after you mad, you say, man, I don't kind of like how I was. When I got mad, that ain't really me. Imagine getting mad and then you don't never snap out of it. You like, that shit. It don't leave. You stained in it. When you like, nah, I think this is good. Like that. That's how it can become with, the traumatic experiences. Y'all become like evil in y'all nature, angry in y'all nature. But it's the matter of the traumatic experiences. And, kind of evolving over time into your personality. But these personalities, like I said, they ain't y'all. But they can become you. Of course, when you die, y'all will be separated. Meaning, when y'all fall in a dream, this is just all that you've taken in for the day and all that is within that you haven't truly dealt with or come to terms with. Like I said, dream is a state of mind as well as a place. So is physical life. So is unconsciousness. And so, y'all experiences in the day, they make for people in place for y'all to deal with while asleep. Look at life as the same. What is not dealt with now, so you will deal with in sleep. Meaning y'all will not rest until y'all have rest. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Y'all view unconscious sleep as bad, but view unconscious sleep as the glory of life. But you keep waking up every day. Keep waking up from that shit. You get it? Fix your mind just for the moment. That's the best thing in life, unconsciousness. Every day you keep waking up like that. It's like an ego thing, like I don't know how to explain it. Will be no rest like that until y'all kind of deal with the self. You get my point? Until you wake up and deal with the self, so you will never get my point? Now, I'm not saying unconsciousness is, let's say behind unconsciousness you have a great reality. Y'all can't go there with y'all problems. No burdens allowed. You get my point? Like that. You're too heavy to go there. So like, you falling asleep. You real fucking tired, man. So you just knock out. Boom. You in unconsciousness. But sometimes you ain't that heavy. You pass through in a dream. You get another reality. But like if you too heavy, then you just crash out. Straight into the abyss. Like that. Behind the abyss is another reality, but y'all too heavy. Too much shit on y'all. So. It's deep. Try and grasp. Life's a deep thing. Y'all law of life. Indeed, everyone needs balance. There you go. Hopefully most people grasp. Emotional control. And once you control your emotions, ain't no getting mad and none of these things. Of course, there's a flip side to emotional control. Meaning, if you can control yourself not being angry, you can control yourself when you happy. This ain't that good. How does one control happiness if they control? How does one enjoy happiness if they fully control it? Meaning, how can you be angry if you can control when you're angry or not? So how do you truly, really experience anger? You don't. You just indulge in it when you feel like it and pretend for the most part. Same with happiness then. How does one fully enjoy happiness if they kind of in control of when they are or not? And so there has to be a balance. You get it? When I say control, I don't want y'all to get lost and think like, okay, I gotta control my emotions and now you're a robot. No. Letting your emotions flow freely. If I say fuck you nigga and you feel angry, that's good. You're vibrating, you have emotions. Now taking control over them when that happens and say, okay, it's not a big deal. That's like emotional control. Not cutting off the emotions when you don't have none, but letting it spark and flame up. Get into a place where you can like use it. You get my point? I don't know how to explain it. It's like a feeling. Feel the anger build up, y'all can use it. Like, if you're aware though, to say, okay, I'm getting wound up. And instead of getting angry and losing it, you can use that energy. But you have to be conscious. You get my point? Like that. It's like when y'all scared. Y'all have different powers when y'all scared. Y'all have different powers when y'all are angry. Y'all have different powers when y'all are calm and relaxed. You get it? You scared, you running fast as fuck than you normally do. You be done flip the whole car out your way. Cause you scared as fuck. Motherfucker get shot all in their back 50 times. They running, they ain't feel shit. They die when they get around the corner and stop running and shit. During that moment of fear and running, shot them 50 times. They ain't feel not one bullet. And not one of them bullets stopped them. Kept running. Till they hit around the corner. Didn't drop. That's how that happened. You got different kind of powers in different emotional states. Meaning y'all different emotional states come with different energy. This energy can be used. Think like when you're working out. You kind of embrace a little aggression in self. So you could do your reps. If you sat there and tried to do your reps like, la la la, it would be hard for you to get that heavy up. You'd be like, hold on, I gotta. You get it? In your emotional state, there's different powers. If you control it, you can use it. Now, I don't mean like working out where you like, but when you get angry and you feel it, get it? It can be used for strength, meaning a natural strength that y'all don't normally have. It can be used like that, literally. It can be used in many different ways, but it starts with emotional control. Understanding the ego, that's the foundations of everything. Are y'all following? Press 1 if y'all are. Salam, shalom. Thomas, man, said I love a good sleep. You love a motherfucking pig in the blankets, too. I know how you get down. Wake up. You wake up and get you something to eat. Lay back down in the bed. I know your type. Some of y'all like that right now watching. You wake up in the middle of the night, half awake. You go take you a pee and shit. Never open your eyes. Feel your way around for your fucking cupcakes that you left before you went to sleep. You say, oh, it's right there. You got crumbs and shit all on it. It done fell on the floor. You don't care. You say, so it doesn't matter. You still sleep. You eat it. You got fucking Twinkie juice all on the side of your mouth. You don't care though, cause y'all laughing because y'all did this yesterday, probably. You know, woke up and got leftovers and said, "Oh, I'm tired. I don't need to wake up." You got barbecue sauce on your eye and shit. You like, yeah. Oh, that was good. Like that. I ain't gonna do it. Greed is a deep thing. Try and rest. That's all I can say. Get it together. Now, I see y'all grasping this lesson. And so the point is this, y'all are dying at all-time rates. Of course, life is going through apoptosis. Y'all don't understand the universe we live in is a body, a biological thing. And so it's going to go through its transitions, you know, apoptosis, necrosis, many different things. This is cell death. We the cells within, the micro life within, of course, the universe. And so this would be a matter of us. So y'all dying at this rate that y'all are because of that. The universal body is going through its transition. And so, out with the old, in with the new, however you want to view it. But when y'all die in them fucked up emotional states that y'all do, then y'all interfere with the weather. You get my point? Tsunamis, typhoons, a lot of these things come from below, you know, out the sea. 50 different dead souls with emotional problems. Life is all binding. You a multi-cell organism, so that means you a whole bunch of shit entangled together. So the dead get tangled up like, I don't know how to explain it. Think like life. One person standing over there, the next person standing over there, one over there. The next thing you know, they all huddled up talking shit together. They get tangled up. Like, think spirits. Think about a group of angry ass men that don't have bodies though. Their minds, which is like heirs, losing their fucking mind. Like for typhoons and different things like that, you know, it's a deep thing. This is why astronomy or playing with the weather is way deeper than y'all can grasp because you're playing with life. You get it? Me mixing and merging different substances, playing, you know, chemistry, alchemy. Microscopic life is within those substances. You get it? Still real living life on its level that I'm playing with. And so, playing with the weather, meaning if you were a good enough sorcerer, you know how to manipulate the weather. It's really not that hard. So of course y'all have y'all weather channel, y'all have the systems and cities y'all live in. The weather's controlled through, you know, the meteorologist, so to say. The meteorologist is just the person that's kind of, I don't want you to get lost on the weatherman telling you the weather, but the meteorologist would truly be the motherfucker that's dictating, and you get it? Not only able to observe what weathers and different patterns is coming, but they can manipulate it. We got technology for that. Don't get lost. The same way you could take a scarf when it's freezing outside and blow your hot ass breath on it. Sometimes y'all do this. Y'all nose gets stuffy when it's cold. Y'all start breathing out your mouth. Your scarf get all wet. Your hot air mixing with the cooler air is creating moisture or water. It's alchemy. H2O. Two hydrogen atoms coming together with one oxygen atom, but you're doing this. With your understanding, hot air and cold air is the same as two hydrogen atoms and two oxygen atoms coming together. It all depends on how good of a sorcerer you is. Meaning the sorcerer is just a scientist on the next level. He not bound to curriculum. You get it? Cold-blooded. Like, and make a scientist look like a 30-year-old kid in school. Like that. Like how I just said. When you listen to a scientist, they never tell y'all that. Like, oh yeah, that would kind of be like making water. Blowing my hot ass breath in the cool. Y'all do that on the window sometimes. The out environment cooler than y'all breath and make the window wet. Y'all right in. You had enough hot air, cool air, alchemy. Your opposites gonna always manifest something. It's Alchemy 101. Alchemy is dealing with the life you can't see, or the things you can't see, like air. Chemistry is dealing with what you can see, like a good old peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Y'all know what I mean. Sure good old peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I watched the Matrix, so the new one, so peanut butter and jelly sandwich with some powdered donuts. That's why my lips be a little chapped sometimes. They don't be chapped, they be white. Cause I love powdered donuts. Like I'm sexy, like I said. Sassy with a Z. Like this shit is deep. But like I said, I'm about to watch the Matrix. Smoke this blunt and all that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and grasped something. That's the main thing. I don't even want to say enjoyed. Hopefully you didn't enjoy it, but you grasped. Because this ain't entertainment. Just, deep said. And so hopefully you guys grasp. If I missed something, you can ask now before I clock out. Peace and wisdom, J. Rob. Remember, wisdom is a pressure. Snap your mind, you lose it. Don't get lost. Salam, shalom.